Hello, hello. Welcome to the first day of the new year. Check this out, 2014, we've made it. Yay! Awesome. So today I want to show you something pretty cool. And I'm not going to tell you at first what it is. Oops. It's this thing, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, I'm going to show you. So let's open a new tab. Let's say we want a file of arbitrary names like Joe and Mo and Alice. Oh wait, we don't want Alice. Let's undo Alice. Let's add some other name like Tom and John. No, wait, John is not good enough. Neither is Tom. Let's add Steve. And did we use John? Yeah, we did. Let's re-add John. Maybe not. Okay. Wait a second. What was that girl's name that I used maybe 2 or 3 undos ago? I want that name back. I can't really remember what it was. Usually I would have a problem. If I was using Visual Studio or Eclipse or Sublime Text, I'd have a problem. And the reason why is that is because those editors handle undo and redo operations in a very linear fashion. You have only one version of the history, and once you have multiple undo and redos, they just get lost. But in reality is we want to access those different alternate versions of the history, those branches that we created by undoing and redoing things. And fortunately, in Vim it's possible. And we have a really nice plugin called Gundo that makes it really easy to do that. So let me open it up, and here it is. So let's go back to original. So in the original state we had an empty file, and you can see that in the bottom left buffer, which shows us what we had. We had nothing, okay? And with type P, it will show us the diff between what we had and what we currently have in our file, in our buffer. So we had nothing, and then we added a first name, and then we added a second name, and then we added Alice, but we undid Alice. And because we undid Alice, she is now in the separate branch. She moved away from our timeline here, see? And then we added 2 names, Tom and John, but we undid both. So we now have a separate branch, separate timeline for these 2 names that we eventually undid and jumped back to our main timeline. And as you can see, this is pretty cool, and I can actually open and restore any point in time. And that's pretty cool, and it shows me the really nice thing that it also does, it shows me how long ago the change was, and that's really helpful sometimes. Okay, so now let's save the file as file of names, right? Or maybe we want this version or something, I don't know. And now something horrible happens. My computer has crashed. The battery has run out, or the operating system, the kernel has panicked, whatever. Boom, I've lost everything. And I was just in the middle of work, and I just want to know what the last 2 names were that I've added, right? Usually I'd be in trouble. If I was using a conventional editor like Visual Studio, yes, sure, I'd be in trouble because those editors store the undo operations in memory, and when they die, when the process dies, that information is gone forever. No more. Okay. But with Vim, check this out. It's gonna sound like magic, but it's really not. So let's edit our names file. It's where we've saved it as, but if we open Gundo again, check this out. All of the history is still here, and we can still restore to any point in time. Now, how cool is that? You may be wondering, how did I achieve that? Okay, so let me show you my vimrc. So the first thing you want to do is add this little plugin, pretty cool, and then you want to specify the undo directory here. So this is the directory where each file that you're editing will have its own undo history file within this directory. And this is where Vim will look for atomic changes that you did in the past. But we also want to configure it, which we do here, by setting the undo file and the history and the undo levels. And in my case, I've set it to 100 because I think that that's a really nice sweet spot of the fine control that I get in conjunction with Git. So I'm using Git and I commit changes over time, but those are the bulks of changes, right? I code a feature and I save it in a commit, but now the undo history using Gundo provides me that really fine-grained control of each atomic change that I have done within those commits, which is really, really awesome and is very, very helpful very often. So whoever has created this this plugin, and it's known because here's his Bitbucket and his GitHub. This guy is a genius. You sir should get an award for making this pretty awesome plugin. Thank you very much. So thank you for watching. Have a good new year and see you in the next video.